Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
I went to Nier Automata expecting to be disappointed. The hype had me skeptical, and the first few hours didn't blow me away. It looked good, sure, but it didn't feel like the masterpiece people claimed it to be. I even thought, maybe this game isn't just for me. But then something happened. I kept playing, and by the time the final credits rolled, for the third time, I was a fan. I was a believer. The first couple of hours felt like a generic action game, and I'll be honest, dying in the beginning and having to replay the opening section really got me upset. I just came from playing Wukong and thought this was going to be easy. The combat is fun, but repetitive, and the story seemed vague and distant. It has mechs, shooting, attractive characters, with great design and freedom to customize my build. Elements I usually love, but something felt off. I kept asking, what's so special about this? Still, a small voice and a lot of online reviews urge me to keep going. Trust me. The combat is frantic and difficult, but as long as you have plenty of healing items, you'll be fine in most situations. Worst case scenario, you go back and retrieve your body with all your stuff. Making sure you often save becomes part of the gameplay and strategy to avoid redoing as much as possible. I wouldn't blame anyone for just going on easy mode and setting it up with the auto fight and auto chips. Once you get the hang of it though, on how to air juggle enemies, what attacks cancel, the combat opens up. It never quite reaches something like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, but it sure does come close. And those games aren't RPGs. But it's not difficult like, say, Resonance of Fate or Black Myth Wukong. It's a good sweet spot. It wasn't one big moment, but a series of subtle, powerful revelations. The second playthrough, after that first ending, wasn't just a retelling, but a transformation. I guess I'm a sucker for narratives that show things from a different perspective, and boy does Automata do that to perfection. Suddenly the characters I barely cared about felt real and complex. The story wasn't just a story, it was a question. And with every question being answered, another one would pop up. Really great writing and foresight into what gamers want and expect. My expectations were being subverted in a great way, not in a Last Jedi way, where it's there to just show off in your face or to seem intelligent. It's there to show you that the writers were thinking ahead of you every step of the way, and you just have to trust them. My first real taste of this was when the bunker was being taken over by the virus, and I expected to have to fight the commander, but we didn't. We just showed, but we didn't. She just showed emotion and wanted 2B and 9S to survive, and it cuts to black, and an opening for Route B was awesome, and it just gets your blood pumping and ready to rush into things. This is going to be different than the first go around. What does it mean to fight for something when everything feels meaningless? Brick by brick, the game has layered on themes of purpose, morality, and loss in ways I didn't expect. I turned my skepticism into curiosity and then into complete investment. With the opening route with 2B so cleverly setting the scene and serving to put everything on the table from here on out, it just takes a while to get here, but it really pays off. I just didn't know it was simmering, waiting to burst the whole time. By the time I reached the final playthrough and saw ending E, Nier Automata had me in its grip. Every moment, every choice, every haunting note of the soundtrack built to something I didn't realize I needed. The most impactful moment for me was fighting wave after wave with A2 and Pascal. A2 is kicking butt, but it's not just enough. Pacifist Pascal throws his ideals out and commandeers a Goliath mech. Unleashed everything to protect his children. Showing the machine's raw power and his fatherly spirit, At the point, I felt like things might be okay. But then the camera pans back to the factory, and you just know they weren't. The machine children, unable to face being eaten alive, scared, chose to end their lives. This moment hit me hard. As a dad, it was devastating. I felt powerless, questioning, what's the point if I can't even save the kids? I chose to help Pascal by erasing his memories. Felt like the right thing to do, but it haunted me. Should I have made that decision? As a parent, this moment stuck with me. Without my kids, there's no emotional future or genetic future. It's everything. The game made me reflect on mortality and purpose in ways I hadn't expected. I turned 37 recently, and I've been grappling with my own midlife crisis. Sometimes having to think forces you to confront things you'd rather avoid. When the android's bunker was destroyed, they lost their ability to respawn. They became mortal. That resonated deeply as well. They weren't immortal anymore. They went from being an AI to being alive, but they no longer had purpose. The dichotomy of do we have free will or whether or not it even matters as we will all die in the end. All our days are numbered. A game that can invoke such raw emotion and force introspection is truly special. It's up there with Metal Gear Solid 2 and The Last of Us for me. Games that don't just tell stories, but immerse you in them. Like those masterpieces, Nier Automata left me contemplating life's fragility, purpose, and the weight of our choices long after I put the controller down. Why was it worth it? I almost gave up on this game, but I didn't. I'm so glad that I didn't. What started as an underwhelming turned into one of the most impactful experiences I've ever had. In today's media landscape, if something can make you feel anything, whether it's anger, sadness, joy, fear, I consider that a success. Too often, we're handed shallow sequels, reboots, and remakes meant for easy consumption and quick forgetfulness. But Nier Automata defies that. It blends themes of religion, AI, mortality, love, free will, lineage, and legacy into a cohesive, unforgettable experience. It's a blender of emotions, and somehow the smoothie it creates feels more complete than the ingredients going in. That's the mark of something truly special. I can't believe it took me so long to play this game.